Shauna, good afternoon. Thanks a million for being with us here today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you joined Campion Insurance?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a regional manager now in Campion, as you know, and I have over 10 years industry experience. I joined Campion earlier this year, so in 2024. And prior to joining Campion, I was also in people management, but for many, many years I was an advisor, so a financial consultant.
So I'd imagine that one of the regular conversations that you have had and still do have with your clients is, how do I fund my retirement? And I suppose one of the ways to do that is through a PRSA. What is a PRSA, Shauna?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, simply, I suppose, a PRSA is a personal retirement savings account, and it's a fund in which you can save into for your retirement. I suppose the most attractive thing about the PRSA is that you typically will get tax relief. The reason you'll get tax relief is because it's a government incentive. Basically, the government want people to fund their own retirements, hence why there's such thing as a PRSA. So generally, when it comes to tax relief, the first question that my clients might ask me is, well, at what level or what rate will I get tax relief? So again, it depends on a client's marginal rate. So maybe 20% tax relief or maybe 40%. It depends on their income. But again, that's something that any advisor would sit down and help with.
So how do you go about setting up a PRSA?
Yeah, so I suppose typically the first thing to do is always go to your employer, because your employer may have different options that you can be eligible to join. But I think no matter what options are out there, it's really important to sit with a financial advisor and get the right advice, because there are lots and lots of options. So it's important to know maybe the pros and cons of each different option.
So just following up on that then is, can you explain some of the benefits of having a PRSA?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, the first and foremost is your tax relief. It's really, really attractive. It's the only place you can save to get tax relief into a pension policy, as opposed to if you're saving in the bank, you generally won't get tax relief. The second really good advantage of it is that you have portability between jobs and employers. So if you have a standard PRSA and you switch jobs, you then can bring that PRSA with you and continue to pay into it. As well as that, then there would be the fact that it's an invested account. So you're saving into your PRSA typically for years and years until you get to retirement age. So like that, as opposed to your money being, for want of a better phrase, sitting under a mattress, it's invested. So please God, like the goal is to keep up with inflation or beat inflation, so that when you go to spend that money in retirement, it's worth what it should be on that day, as opposed to losing out to inflation over the years. And I think the last thing on that as well is that when a fund is invested, you have the choice of picking the funds that you want. And you can also switch between those funds every year if you wish. You probably wouldn't, but you have that flexibility option if you wanted to.
So say I've just turned 60 and I'm lucky enough that I'm going to be able to retire now. What happens to my PRSA? What's the next step?
Yeah. So first and foremost, we'd always advise our clients to take 25% tax-free lump sum out of their PRSA. Okay. If you don't take that money out tax-free and you leave it in the PRSA to be reinvested in retirement, it becomes taxable money. So it doesn't make any sense. And then with the remaining balance of the fund, you have multiple options. The remaining funds can go into what's called Improved Retirement Fund, or an ARF or an ARF. And the second one then would be the annuity. But the most popular option is the Approved Retirement Fund for the balance of that PRSA.
We obviously have a large office network around the country. If someone wants to contact you or a member of the financial advisor team, how do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can call us on 0818 297 600. Also, you can go onto campion.com.